Hi guys, so I'm going to make a lasagna recipe, but I went through my fridge, and the recipe calls for eggs, but these have been sitting in the fridge for some time, and they're also in a container that doesn't have the best before date on it because it's from something called an Eco Farm, which is a local farm that my grandmother buys from, and she gets eggs from the farmer, and she gets vegetables from the farmer, and they come every couple of weeks. But she gave these eggs to me a while ago, so I don't know how fresh they are. But I went to look on the internet, and it says that if you put your egg in the cold water, if it sinks to the bottom, it's still good, it's still fresh. If it sinks to the bottom but stands on its end, it's okay, but you should use it soon. And if it floats, then it's probably bad. So I'm gonna try this egg out and see what happens. Let's get a little budge. Yeah, you see it's floating, so that egg is probably not good. I don't want to be too picky, but I'd like my eggs to be fresh. See, that one is floating as well. It's bobbing a little bit. Let's see if any of these eggs are good. Okay, here's another egg. That one's good. Doesn't matter. There's some of the eggs that are smaller size that have sunk, and some of that floated. So that one's a floater. And this one is a sinker, so this one is good. So I saved 6 eggs out of the 10 eggs that I had. I'm just going to go ahead and crack the eggs that are good, supposedly good. So I'm going to move that out of the way. So for this recipe you need 2 eggs. Oh my goodness, that has 2 yolks. Did you see that? That had 2 yolks. And I always crack it in a separate bowl because I almost always end up getting eggshells in my eggs. So I guess I only need 1 egg with 2 egg yolks. So you can either use 2 eggs or 1 with 2 egg yolks. I think I might do another one though. And these, by the way, smell good. I'm going to do 3, or maybe I'll do 4. I might do a little bit more so that I can use these up, and also I might do more recipe. Always end up with the shells in there. Alright, so I'm going to use 4. I'm sort of using the website for recipe, but I'm also kind of winging it to make it my own. The recipe calls for 2 eggs. I'm using 4 eggs. So there you have it. So you need eggs. I'm going to put those in the fridge for now because I don't want them to be out on the table. I'm getting all gross and stuff. I'm going to wipe all the water off the counter. Alright, so you also need ground beef. I also got this from the Eco Farm. Well, my grandmother got it from the Eco Farm. This is hamburger beef. I'm making up 2 of them. I'm not really sure what the weight is of these. I think there should be 1 pound, but of course I don't really know. But I'm gonna make some extra also for other recipes and freeze it in the refrigerator. So you got your beef. First, tomato sauce. I'm using ragu, tomato and basil. I got 2 containers of these because I might make an extra one. So yeah, these and Tex-Mex shredded cheese. I got the Tex-Mex because when I went to the Walmart, it was very picked through after New Year's, and also all the kids were going back to school, and so it was crazy, and there was very little left. So this is one that I grabbed. Hopefully it'll be good. The oven-ready lasagna noodles, and you need an onion and cottage cheese. You can also use ricotta cheese. The recipe calls for both cottage cheese and ricotta cheese, but I'm just going to stick with cottage cheese. I hope this will be enough for the amount that I want to make, but we'll see. So you need cottage cheese or ricotta cheese, whatever you want. I also have some mushrooms that I'm going to throw in there. You can use fresh mushrooms if you'd like, but I'm going to use the canned ones because they are cheaper and I don't want to have to wash. I have 2 cans of those. Now for the spices, I'm going to use garlic powder, onion powder. Well, I probably won't use very much of this because I already have onions that I'm going to put in there. I'm going to use oregano and basil leaves. And if you like it a little spicier, you can add cayenne pepper or crushed chili peppers. I'm going to put cayenne pepper in mine. So that's it for the ingredients. Now as far as tools, you need a bowl to mix things with. You need a pan, salt, and pepper. That's also a good thing to have. You'll need a cutting board to cut up the onion with. Cutting board, and you'll probably need a knife for that cutting board. Oops, wrong knife. See, knife. Make sure it's nice and sharp. It makes it easier to cut things, and yeah. Here. What you can do as well is you can have it in the fridge so that it melts a little bit, so you don't have to cook it while it's frozen, because that's not as fun. But you can also put it in the microwave for a couple seconds, which I might end up doing, so that it thaws a little bit and it's easier to cook. I'm going to first wipe the counter. I'm going to use some paper towel and some Mr. Clean. I'm going to wipe down the counter, make sure that I got all the meat flecks, or the meat juices off the counter before I prepare the other stuff. There we go. Now I'm going to open up the mushrooms. So you can see what I'm doing. There you go, now you can see. I got a new tripod, so that helps. So we're not really awkwardly doing things. So I'm going to turn this up. I'm not going to put it at max because if you put it at max, it cooks too quickly and it burns. So you want to start at a medium low or a medium heat so that you don't have the issue of burning. Now to get the flavor in the mushrooms as well. That's one of the tips that you usually hear is that if you add the onions in with the rest of the food, then it'll absorb the flavor and adds a little bit of different taste. Okay, so while the mushrooms and the ground beef are doing their thing, I'm going to take the bowl and start combining some ingredients. Alright, so I'm going to mix my cheeses and my spices together in the bowl with the egg.